Hey, it's Aaron, and today's Coffee in an Odd Car is with buckboard cars. These had a bunch of different names. They were sometimes called cycle cars, they were sometimes called other things, but mostly they were basically the precursor to go-karts. They were buckboard cars was the most common name. That's what they were usually marketed as. These are a vehicle that came in the 20s, so the 1920s and a little bit after. There were a few of them that were around just before that, but for the most part this is kind of a 1920s thing. So these would appear in catalogs. You could buy them in like Sears and Roebuck and other catalogs, and they were most appealing to kind of farm boys and people with a little bit of spending money, so their family might have some spending money and they had the room to use it. So these weren't sold like in cities. This wasn't something you would buy for your kid living in suburbia. But anyway, at that time period, the buckboard was gone. The buckboard wagon wasn't really around anymore. Cars had mostly replaced wagons anyway. But these were little 5-wheel designs, most of them, which means they had 4 wheels like a regular car, and then they had a 5th one that set in the back up, and you could lower it down. You pull a lever and it lowers down, and that gives the propulsion. Briggs Stratton, there you go, made one of these that they sold for quite a while, and then there was another company, the Automotive Electric Service, or made the Auto Redbug. There was an electric version of one of these for a little while, but mostly they were engines, so they would be like a 2-stroke engine. These were sold, like I said, in like Sears and Roebuck, J.C. Whitney, catalogs like that, and they were super popular for a short amount of time. When the Depression hit, these kind of went away. But from the point of about World War I to the Depression, these were super popular, and now they're seeing kind of a resurgence. There's a lot of them in museums, but there's people building these now, because you can still buy a cheap gas motor like this, like the Briggs and Stratton and other companies make. You can buy those for pretty cheap, and then the rest of it is basically just a snow sled with wheels on it. So it's pretty easy to make. Anyway, these were super nuts. If you can imagine going 20 miles an hour on something this small, made out of wood with no protection whatsoever, welcome to the 1920s. So, yeah. All right, this has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.